안내 말씀드리겠습니다. 잠시 후에 Dream Together Seoul Forum 2017이 시작될 예정이오니 아직 행사장 밖에 계신 분들께서는 입장하셔서 착석해 주시기 바랍니다. 아울러 원활한 행사 진행을 위해서 휴대폰은 매너 모드로 전환해 주시면 감사하겠습니다. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining us for Dream Together Seoul Forum. We are going to begin in just a few moments, so please take your seats inside the hall. May we also ask you to take a moment to ensure that your phones are silent. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Dream Together Seoul Forum 2017. My name is Teresa Raw, and it is my pleasure to be your MC. Like all Koreans, I'm very excited about the upcoming Winter Games in PyeongChang, but personally even more so because I had the honor of serving as the Communications Director for the 2018 PyeongChang Bid Committee. So I'm very much looking forward to next year's Games and also today's forum, the theme of which is Olympic legacy and sustainability from the past to the future. And we have a wonderful lineup of speakers who are here to share their insights and experience. To briefly introduce the program, we will begin with welcoming and congratulatory speeches, followed by our keynote speech, and then 5 presentations on the theme. We will then hold a panel discussion and invite the audience to take part with their questions. Simultaneous interpretation will be provided throughout the ceremony and forum with Korean on channel 1 and English on channel 2 of your receivers. 본 포럼은 한국어와 영어 동시 통역이 제공됩니다. 한국어는 1번 그리고 영어는 2번 채널이오니 참고하시면 좋겠습니다. 감사합니다. Before we begin with the official program, please allow me to introduce a few of our distinguished guests who have taken time out of their busy schedule to join us here today. Would you please rise when I call out your name? First, Hwang In-gyu, Vice President of Seoul National University. We're also very pleased to have Mr. Ser Miang, Executive Board Member of the IOC, joining us here today. We're also joined by Mr. Kim Yong, Deputy Secretary General of the Korean Sport and Olympic Committee. We're very pleased to see also Mr. Yoo Seung-min, member of the IOC. Also joining us is Mr. Oh Ji-chul, former Vice Minister of Culture, Sports and Tourism of Korea. We're also pleased to see Mr. John Furlong, former President and CEO of the Vancouver Organizing Committee for the 2010 Olympic and Paralympic Winter Games. And we have Mr. Kim Chu-ho, Vice President of the PyeongChang Organizing Committee for the 2018 Winter Games. We'd like to give a warm welcome now to Ms. Tania Braga, Head of Legacy at the IOC. And another warm welcome to Mr. Ben Fletcher, who is Director of Marketing and Communication of the London Legacy Development Corporation. Please give a warm welcome now to Ms. Hiromi Kawamura, Public Relations Secretary of the Tokyo Organizing Committee for the 2020 Games. We're also honored to have Mr. Cho Hyun-jae, former Vice Minister of Culture, Sports and Tourism of Korea. Please give a warm welcome to Chang Chu-ho, President of the Association for International Sport for All, who is on his way. Yes, thank you very much. Please give a warm welcome now to Ms. Ambassador Oscar Gustavo Herrera Gilbert from the Embassy of Ecuador. And last but certainly not least, we are joined by Mr. Chung Byung-chan, who is head of the Center for the Next Generation Sport Talent and Development of the Korea Institute of Sports Science. We also have many other guests joining us here today, but I apologize for not having enough time to introduce all of you, but we are very grateful for your attendance. And now we are going to begin with some welcoming remarks from Professor Kang Jun-ho, the Director of Dream Together Master Program at Seoul National University. Please welcome Professor Kang with a big round of applause.
Vice President Hwang In-kyu and Mr. Ser Miang, and distinguished speakers and guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Dream Together Seoul Forum 2017. It's my pleasure and privilege to welcome all of you to this very unique gathering on behalf of the Dream Together Master Program. This forum brings together all the representatives from the IOC and the past and future host cities on a most timely topic of Olympic legacy and sustainability. The Olympic is a catalyst to change our life and society. Also, it's a platform that various stakeholders leverage in creative ways. The legacies are the results of this catalyst and platform. It is such a critical agenda for both IOC and host cities. However, despite of its importance, it is true that it's been misunderstood, underdeveloped, or less evaluated. So therefore, we wanted to explore the new direction of the Olympic legacy and sustainability in this forum. This forum will give us a chance to retrospect the past Olympics, which have left successful legacies, including 1988 Seoul Olympic Games, 2010 Vancouver Olympic Winter Games, 2012 London Olympic Games, and to envision the future Olympic legacies, including 2018 PyeongChang and 2020 Tokyo. Today's forum is also to celebrate the 5th anniversary of the Dream Together Master Program, launched in 2013. It's an unprecedented global sport development initiative undertaken by the Korean Ministry of Culture, Sports, and Tourism, and the Korean Sports Promotion Foundation. The purpose of the program is to educate the next generation sport administrators from the countries where the sport is underdeveloped. The graduates of the program will go back to their respective countries and will play a key role in establishing a solid sports system. About 100 students from 44 countries from 6 continents were trained and currently studying in this program. This program not only contributes to providing a proliferation of a sport value, but also enhance the global sport leadership by establishing a closer relationship with the sport personnel around the world. I want to thank the Ministry of Culture, Sports, and Tourism and the Korea Sports Promotion Foundation for their financial support. Also, I'd like to warmly welcome all the guests and distinguished speakers, especially our 2 proud students from Dream Together Master Program, Derek Charway from Ghana and Eduardo Butter from Brazil. I wish this forum will serve as a platform to figure out the direction of the Olympic legacy and sustainability. Again, I'd like to thank all the speakers and guests for sharing valuable experience and insights. Last but not least, I want to thank all the staffs preparing this forum for their valuable time and efforts. Please enjoy this special moment. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Kang, and congratulations on the 5th anniversary of the DREAM program. And now we have congratulatory remarks from Dr. Song Na-gin, the president of Seoul National University. Unfortunately, he had to go overseas on a business trip, but we are very pleased to have the vice president of Seoul National University, Dr. Hwang In-gyu, to deliver his message in his stead. So please welcome Dr. Hwang.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Seoul National University, I would like to welcome our honorable guests, distinguished scholars and speakers and experts to the Dream Together Seoul Forum 2017 to discuss the topic of Olympic legacy and sustainability. It is our pleasure and honor to have the 2017 forum, as this forum celebrates its 5th years of Dream Together Master Program. The Dream Together Master Program, organized by Seoul National University, aims to educate the next generation of sports managers and administrators who will become sports leaders in countries where sports development is in its early stages. Sports can make significant changes for the people's quality of life and society, but the changes cannot be made without commitment and sacrifice of future sports leaders. So I'm very proud that the Dream Together Master Program has successfully provided a platform where future leaders acquire theoretical and practical knowledge, share their visions and experiences, and ultimately make their dreams come true. In a few months, the 2018 Winter Olympics will be held in PyeongChang, Korea. I believe most of the Korean people are very excited for the upcoming Olympics. The Olympic legacy is an important agenda to provide a better sports environment and positive social changes. I believe it is timely and appropriate. This year's forum is devoted to the topic of Olympic legacy and sustainability. I would like cordially welcome and thank all of the speakers for sharing their valuable experiences and insights. And also I want to extend my sincere gratitude to the Korean Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism and the Korea Sports Promotion Foundation for supporting this forum as well as the Dream Together Master Program. Finally, I sincerely hope the foresight and knowledge developed in this forum will have worldwide appeal and relevance, and that all the participants will earn valuable experiences from all of the forum presentations. And I hope you all enjoy this forum and enjoy the Korean early winter seasons. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hwang. Our next congratulatory speech is from the president of the Korean Sport and Olympic Committee, Mr. Lee Ki-hung. He was supposed to join us here today, but unfortunately, we received a message early today that he has actually been hospitalized because of a bad case of the flu. But instead, we are very happy to have the Deputy Secretary General, Mr. Kim Yong, to deliver his speech instead. So please welcome now Mr. Kim Yong.
사회자께서도 말씀하셨듯이 저희 이기영 회장님께서 상당히 몸이 불편하셔서 오늘 이 자리를 대신 참석하게 된 것을 대단히 죄송하게 생각합니다. 그럼 먼저 이기영 회장님께서 여러분에게 들려줄 메시지를 전달하겠습니다. 한국말로 메시지를 전달하도록 하겠습니다. 2017 드림 투게더 서울 포럼의 개최를 진심으로 축하드리며 뜻깊은 자리를 마련하신 강준호 서울대학교 국제스포츠 행정과 양성사업단 단장님, 그리고 황인규 서울대학교 부총장님, 유승민, 그리고 세르미앙 IOC 위원을 비롯한 각국에서 오신 올림픽 가족 여러분, 그리고 내빈 여러분께 깊은 감사와 환영의 인사를 드립니다. 대한민국은 86 서울 아시안게임과 88 서울 올림픽 대회를 비롯해 2002 한일 월드컵 축구대회, 2011년 대구 세계 육상 선수권 대회 등 세계 최대 규모와 최고의 권위를 자랑하는 스포츠 이벤트를 두루 개최하며 국가 브랜드 이미지를 제공하고 국민들의 자긍심을 고취해 왔습니다. 그리고 이제 3개월 후면 전 세계 동계 스포츠 가족들의 축제와 화합의 장인 2018 동계올림픽이 대한민국 평창에서 개최됩니다. 이번 2018 평창 동계올림픽 대회는 온 국민의 염원을 담아 3번의 도전 끝에 유치에 성공한 국내에서 최초로 개최되는 동계올림픽 대회인 만큼 그 의미가 각별하다 하겠습니다. 올림픽 대회의 성공적인 개최를 위해서는 대회 기간 체계적이고 성숙한 운영에도 많은 노력을 기울여야겠지만 그와 더불어 대회 종료 후 올림픽 경기장을 비롯한 관련 시설의 보존과 관리를 통해 올림픽의 정신을 보급하고 또 국가적 자산으로 남기는 일이 무엇보다 중요하다고 생각합니다. 이번 2017 드림 투게더 서울 포럼은 올림픽 유산과 지속 가능성, 과거에서 미래로라는 주제로 개최되어 매우 시의적절하고 뜻깊은 논의의 장이 될 것으로 생각합니다. 이번 포럼에 참석해 주신 주요 관계자 및 전문가 여러분께서는 올림픽 유산과 지속 가능성을 독려하기 위한 고견을 제시해 주시길 바라며 이 자리에 계신 참석자 여러분께서도 많은 의견을 모아주시기를 당부드립니다. 끝으로 이번 포럼의 성공적인 개최를 기원하며 포럼 준비를 위해 노고를 아끼지 않으신 강준호 단장님을 비롯한 관계자 여러분 그리고 참석해 주신 내빈 여러분께 깊은 감사의 말씀을 드립니다. 감사합니다. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Kim, and we wish a speedy recovery for President Lee Gi-heung. Our last congratulatory speech will be from IOC member Mr. Yoo Seung-min. He really needs no introduction, but he is a former national table tennis player who won the gold medal at the 2004 Summer Olympics. Please welcome Mr. Yoo with a big round of applause.
First of all, I'd like to express my gratitude to the director of Dream Together Master, Professor Junho Kang, for inviting me today. I sincerely congratulate the opening of 2017 Dream Together Seoul Forum and warmly welcome all the distinguished guests here today. Korean sports has achieved huge development, writing down a glorious history. Athletes are showing top-class performance, and Korea's national brand image has improved through hosting various international sports events. When I was 6 years old, I had a dream to be an Olympic champion when I first watched Seoul Olympic Games. It has been 30 years after Seoul Olympic Games, and I, who had a dream to be an Olympic champion, now serve as a member of the IOC. I believe this is one of Olympic legacy from Seoul Olympic Games. In respect of Olympic legacy, Seoul Olympic in 1988 is one of the most successful Olympic Games throughout Olympic history. The Olympic Games have power and values to change people's lives and promote people to have dreams. 2018 PyeongChang Olympic Games, which is the first Olympic Games held in Korea since 1988, should aim to create lasting Olympic legacies along with successful hosting. Also, for successful Olympic Games, creating Olympic legacies should be focused not only during the preparation and delivery period of the Games, but also after the Games, looking at the long-term social change. Moreover, these have to be led by the people to create a positive influence on our society and local community. Therefore, I strongly believe that today's topic, Olympic legacy and sustainability, from past to the future, is very well-timed and meaningful. I hope today's forum will turn out to be a key platform for discussing specific measures regarding Olympic legacies and sustainability. I also sincerely request everyone's support in order to successfully host 2018 PyeongChang Winter Olympic and Paralympic Games. Once again, I extend my gratitude to everyone participating today and wish for successful forum. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Yoo. Actually, may I ask you to stay on stage because we're going to have a quick photo session. So may I ask all of our speakers and guests of honors who were introduced before to join us on stage for a quick photo. Thank you very much. 이쪽에 계시는 게 낫나요? Yes, please don't be shy. Some of our photographers are asking for some sort of emotion or action. I don't know if you're familiar with the fighting of Korea. So to cheer for a successful PyeongChang Games, maybe we could say, cheers, fighting? Yes, that's a Korean saying of encouraging and wishing for a successful PyeongChang Games. So 1, 2, 3, fighting, PyeongChang. 네, 대신, 네. Thank you very much, speakers and guests. You may return to your seats. Thank you very much. I would now like to introduce our keynote speaker. He is Mr. Miang from the International Olympic Committee, and he is an executive board member. He's also the former vice president of the IOC. His presentation today will be on legacies and sustainability, begin with a bold vision. We're very pleased and honored to have him with us, so please give him a warm welcome.
Thank you, Teresa. Good afternoon, everyone. And thank you, Professor Kan Jun Ho, for inviting me to this afternoon's forum. And it is my pleasure to be here to share with you the future direction of the IOC with regards to the Olympic legacy and sustainability. I believe it is really an appropriate opportunity to do so, as PyeongChang is only in February next year. And we're also here in Seoul, which hosted the 1988 Olympic Games, and we can see the full legacy in display and live out together in everyday's life. I would say, in fact, this forum itself is probably a legacy of these two games, one in the past and one that will be taking place. The objective of creating long-term benefits for people and cities is very closely bound to the Olympic movement's vision of building a better world through sport. This vision dates back to the foundation of modern Olympic Games and is shared by all constituents of the Olympic movement across the globe. From 1896 to 2016, there were 49 editions of the modern Olympic Games in 42 cities and in 23 countries, and 4 editions of the Youth Olympic Games in 4 cities and in 4 countries. They have all left tangible and intangible benefits. Very obvious ones, like sports facilities for training and use by the athletes to improve their performances and for competitions, as well as used by general public. Increase of enthusiasm for the less popular sport. Once a sport has been put into Olympic program, it will generate its own momentum in attracting participants and athletes. The new diplomatic relationship and improved dialogue between countries enhance professional skills and career opportunities for local people, new cultural heritage assets, growth in volunteerism, innovation in design and visual arts going beyond just the field of sport, and increase global visibilities for cities. For example, PyeongChang. How many would have heard of PyeongChang if not for its bid and now hosting the Olympic Games? Definitely you see upgrading of infrastructure for the cities, increase in leisure areas, as well as increase in global visibility, as well as national prestige. On the less tangible side, which is more intangible, I want to place emphasis on the confidence of the citizens they have in facing the future once the games take place, as well as the pride that they are able to host such big events with global importance. However, I think despite all this, the perception of legacy of Olympic Games in some cases remain very challenging. So moving forward, the IOC wants to further encourage, support, monitor, and promote legacy in partnership with the stakeholders, especially the cities bidding and the cities hosting. We know that legacy can mean many different things to different people. For the IOC, Olympic legacy is the result of a very clear vision right from the very beginning. It will encompass all the tangible and intangible long-term benefits. It will encompass the vision of the city itself, how it wants to develop for the future, and how it will benefit the citizens and the city, the region, and the country, beginning with a clear plan of how they want to do it. And it could be initiated because of the Olympic Games that's coming. There will be greater investment from the government, from private sectors, from different partners. And it could be initiatives that probably would take many years later to develop, but it's been accelerated because of the hosting of the Olympic Games. So the main message that I hope that you will take away from today's presentation is that the IOC's approach to legacy is now changing and evolving into a more proactive role to support local actors to ensure strong and relevant legacy will be left behind and continue after the Games. The IOC aims to establish a broader foundation for the delivery of long-term benefits for the people and for the host cities, rather than just delivering the 17 days of competitions and celebration. And beyond the Olympic Games itself, legacy must create new and upgraded facilities for sports practices and tourism development, and it include the development of organized sports benefits brought by sports practices in the area of health, of education, of social cohesion, and development of a new generation of talents in different fields, going beyond sport, in cultural, environmental, and human development. There will be a stronger focus on legacy planning and delivery through all the Olympic Games and through its full cycle. And I would like to summarize it as the following points. Right at the very beginning, legacy is discussed with cities interested in hosting the Olympic Games and is fully embedded in the candidature process. Legacy vision and objectives must become an integral part of the Games management, coordination, and decision-making process. Legacy governance in host city is operationally early in the life cycle and is made resilient to operational pressures and political changes. Example, there will always be budgetary pressure on the host city, and you may be made to economize on certain things, but you just cannot compromise on the legacy itself, which is important not just for the Games, but for the future. Political changes, governments may change, priority may become different, but I think there's a strong need there to ensure that the legacy must continue beyond any political changes. Legacy objectives are supported by robust engagement programs. And this is something that the organizing committees, with the help of IOC, can achieve. The planning of legacy and delivery are regularly monitored in a transparent way, and fine-tuning and corrective measure will be taken whenever it's necessary. This one means that IOC aims to help cities to develop a legacy vision that will enhance the value proposition of the Olympic Games and encourage cities interested in hosting the Olympic Games to engage with stakeholders early and define clear priorities relating to sports participation, social development, economic development, as well as sustainability. The IOC will assist the cities in prioritizing the use of existing and planned venues, including consideration of existing venues in other cities, in different regions, and even in other countries. This is a bold step forward. The orientation given to cities is to consider new permanent venues only if there is clear legacy need and a guarantee long-term post-games use. So this means there must be real demand. If not now, then there must be a clear demand in the future. Alternatively, the use of existing or temporary facilities that could be reused or repurposed is strongly recommended. The design, the construction, and operation of all sports facilities must be relevant and bring values to communities that they serve, prior to, during the games or the sports events, and afterwards. IOC also aims at taking a more active role in documenting, analyzing, and communicating the legacy of past and upcoming Olympic Games based on a common framework. To support this regular reporting of legacy, the IOC has recently introduced a legacy reporting framework devised in partnership with leading experts in this field to identify, to describe, to analyze, and measure legacy continuously from the candidature phase upwards to several years after the Olympic Games have concluded. And after that, we'll leave it very much to the city itself. The Olympic Games are the most visible representation of Olympism and a role model for other sports events. By taking a more active stance on the legacy of the Olympic Games, the IOC aims at influencing and leading by example other organizations which manage international sports events. We see momentum being built around legacy, not only here in Korea, but also with Tokyo 2020, Beijing 2022, Paris 2024, and Los Angeles 2028. There is this very unique opportunity of the Olympic Games being hosted twice, even 3 times in the same city, bringing legacies already existing in these territories. Paris 2024 and LA 28 Games concept are a living example of the IOC's new way of working with regards to legacy. I'm happy to share with you a film in which the mayors of Paris and LA share their views on Olympic legacy.
A new approach to build this great adventure together. This was made possible by Olympic Agenda 2020. I saw it as a great opportunity to create a perfect marriage between the Games plan and my city's plan. Paris 2024 is Olympic Agenda 2020 in action.
Dans l'agenda 2020, il y a une vision très claire du CIO quant à son rôle à l'échelle internationale pour aider à résoudre les grands défis. Le défi climatique, des défis sociaux, tous ces défis qui concourent à construire de la paix et de la fraternité à partir des valeurs humanistes de l'olympisme. Pour moi, c'est vraiment très important. S'il n'y avait pas eu l'agenda 2020, je ne suis pas sûre que Paris aurait été candidate. Donc vous voyez, ça a été fondamental dans ma décision.
Olympic Agenda 2020 felt so comfortable for us as Californians, a place where we're trying to do everything we can to combat global climate change, a place where we always want to, as we did in 1984, bring the very best business practices to make sure that the finances of the Olympics can sustain. And I think for us, we see an opportunity in 2028 to take this agenda and to make it real, not just an abstraction, but to fit the Olympics to our city rather than fitting a city to the Olympics. So I think for both of us, this is part of our urban planning. Our citizens deserve to have us think about their future beyond the 17 days of the Olympics, but it will make an even better Olympics, we believe, during that time. My favorite moment was when the International Olympic Committee finally voted to award 2. And like a good well-run meeting, they were going on to the next piece of business, and Anne and I held hands and walked up into the stage spontaneously and said, "You have done this." And it was a moment where I knew the partnership we would have. I realized that Olympism isn't what people sometimes think, that it's formal, that it's stuck in old ways. It is dynamic, it's forward-looking, it can change, it can embrace the future, it can be the future.
It truly is a tale of two great Olympic cities. Their outstanding projects grew directly out of the reforms contained in Olympic Agenda 2020, which both candidatures fully embraced. In particular, both cities developed proposals that are aligned with existing city and regional sports, economic, social, and environmental development plans. And by incorporating a record number of existing and temporary venues into their plans, the candidatures have reduced costs and significantly simplified games delivery. In addition to an increased focus on transparency, sustainability, and legacy, Olympic Agenda 2020 led to much closer collaboration, staging 3 phases over 15 months between the candidate cities and the IOC, providing Los Angeles and Paris with greater flexibility to design games that meet their local needs. As a result, the candidatures are low risk and high reward, both for the Olympic movement and for the city. With the support, enthusiasm, and passion of their athletes and citizens, Los Angeles and Paris have presented the best of their cities, and their best is as good as it can possibly get for the Olympic Games.